Alright folks, Pacini's 88, we are back. Let's head on to chapter number 2. Ace, I admit to being rather befuddled by the mysteries of this case. We started the day suspecting Father Donovan of wrongdoing, and thought he'd arranged to have the evidence room burned to conceal his crimes. However, just as we endeavored to question him, we found him murdered on the train tracks. The killer shot him with a gun that was used in an earlier murder we've investigated. The gun should have been locked up in the newly refurbished evidence room, but the evidence clerk released it to somebody, allegedly under orders. However, he won't say who took out the gun. Blast it all. And without that, we... Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I know where your killer went. What do you mean, Viola? Well, you recall we thought that we found some hair pomade in the murder weapon. Well, I recognize what barbershop it came from. I must have sampled all the existing pomades trying to concoct a recipe of my own. Do you know they use bear fat too? Well, yes, thank you, Viola. Just give us the barbershop's address and Ace will have a look. Yep. You guys can all say hello, YouTube. And if you guys are watching this video not in real time when I upload it, you can put a timestamp of when your comments are in your comment on the video. That way you can kind of make that correlation. So this is obviously something. Pile of hair, bow tie, gramophone, locked tube. That's not a locked tube. No, that's a locked tube. Okay. We seem to have arrived during a lull in customer Ace. So much the better. We can calmly consider the clues. Why, that is a rather expensive document carrier. Odd for it to be lying around here. Let us open it. And forgive me, Ace, but I'll leave you to search through that pile of hair by yourself. Honestly, one would wish for this place to be kept in a cleaner condition. Well, it's gonna be as clean as it gets, and it ain't nice of you to complain, miss. I'm glad as parent the barber's help. If you're wanting a haircut, you're out of luck. The master ain't here. Well, as a matter of fact, it's not a haircut we're after. Signature bracelet. I'd like to ask you some questions, Miss Perrine. She looks like, she looks a little bit like, Miranda Lambert. Country singer. I almost have 45,000 subscribers. That's cool. Totally looks like Miranda Lambert. Miss Perrine, we're here about the murder of Father Donovan, and so... Wait, what's that? Somebody murdered Father Donovan? Oh, but that's right, horrid. It is what it is. He was a good man, a man of faith. Yeah, we have reason to believe the killer frequents his barbershop. Have you noticed any suspicions lately? Suspicious? There's all types of as want haircuts here. From crooks to policemen. We don't turn anyone away who don't cause a quarrel. There's one thing, though, I did. Last Father Donovan visited, he looked all worried like, but he didn't say nothing. I think someone did away with him. By golly, if I knew his murder, I'd give him a right shove with my broom. Rather than that, Miss Perrine, just please alert Senior Trooper Ace, should you notice or remember anything. They could totally make a show out of this, for sure. I don't think that they would make a movie out of this. There's too many characters that need development, but... they could totally make, they could totally make a TV show out of it. Well, Ace, the document inside the carrier seems to be... Oh, dash my wig. It's an evidence room receipt from an Ivory Johnson safety automatic revolver. That's our murder weapon. And the receipt is made out for Talmadge Baldwin. He's the one who took the gun out of the evidence room. No wonder Officer Wimple refused to talk. The police commissioner had offered him into silence. Well, this hardly looks good. The commissioner must explain what he wanted with that gun. Ace, how did a note addressed to Father Donovan end up amid that hair? The text reads, "We must talk in private. Do me the honors of meeting me at the train station at 3 o'clock this night." 3 o'clock? Who'd arrange a meeting at such an hour? And the place where Father Donovan was killed, no less. You're right, Ace. This note must have been written by the killer. Excellent point. The paper bears an odd stain. Take a sample of it will surely bring us closer to solving this case. Oh, it's got to be Amy and Russell. Raimi. Oh, just barely ate. Let us dispatch the substance from the killer's note to Viola. She will be able to tell us what it is. I was there. Hashtag nice. That is true. Senior Brace, what is it now? I'm just leaving on a most urgent business. I must procure hair pomade from that barber shop. Wondrous stuff, despite being so cheap. Even Wimple uses it. Odd that you mention him, sir, for we know you asked him to let a gun out of the evidence lockup, and this gun was used to kill Father Donovan. Oh, you're still harping on about that nonsense? And accusing me of murder? Some of my dearest friends, very influential people, craved to see a gun with which a real murder had been committed. So I took out one of the evidence rooms to show them. And I'm a marksman. I can be trusted around weapons. How did that gun end up firing a bullet into Father Donovan? Well, as a matter of fact, I happened to lose sight of the weapon at the party I took it to. And you did not think to report the gun's disappearance? Recall to whom you're talking to, Senior Brace. Pointing out my errors will not make your stay in Concordia pleasant, I guarantee you. I really don't care what you think, honestly. Alright, we're gonna actually speed this up. Oh my gosh, I have like no cash. Alright. Subtle to subtle. I'll add a dash of sandalwood, or perhaps quite the contrary, the essence of rose flowers. Viola, I'm sorry to interrupt your perfume making, but you can tell us about the substance from the killer's note? Oh, but I'm talking to you about your samples, Ace, for the substance on the note is most definitely a perfume. Beyond a doubt, your killer was wearing this scent, but I must say I'm rather disappointed by their choice. A bland, neutral smell. I can't even tell if it's meant for men or women. I like my perfumes to make bold statements. Here, Maddie, dear. I made this one especially for you. Ooh, that's so thoughtful of you. Chew! See? A strong, robust scent. Perfectly suited to your character. I shall take that as a compliment, I think. But for now, we must focus on the scent of our perfume-wearing killer. I have no doubt we'll sniff them out, Ace. Ace, my nose is still itching from that perfume Viola had me smell. I can't believe she thinks it represents my character. Regardless, you're right. The killer deliberately lured Father Donovan out to the train station to make the murder look like an accident. We ought to examine the place again. After you. Oh, Jack and Saul, that's right. So I use the cash on here just so I can hopefully get all of these stars. We don't have to get stars. Alright, so what have we got here? Got the pocket knife. Nice. Got the peaches, harmonica, dice, torn article, and chicken foot. There it is. Yeah, if it's hard to obtain stars, no point in playing the game. Ace, is that old rusted blood on that pocket knife? Word appears engraved on the handle, but time has worn it away. Do you think you can decrypt it? We better fix up that torn poster. One never knows what will prove to be important to solving this murder. Agreed. Agreed. Thanks for pointing it out to me, Ben. Oh yeah, Vinny Costa. Well, the writing on the knife says Vincosta. That sounds strangely familiar. Wait, did you not say you met an Italian thug by the name while investigating another murder? The knife must belong to Vinny Costa. What's it doing here on our crime scene? Costa sounds like a slippery customer, but he won't escape giving us answers. Hey, so this is a flyer for Father Donovan's immigrant integration campaign. I've seen them about. But I concur with you, that writing was clearly added to the letter. And I can tell at a glance that the words are in Irish Gaelic. Fortunately, I do not, in fact, speak any, so you're correct. We ought to dispatch the flyer to Evie and hope she can tell us what the text means. I feel like I haven't slept. No, I definitely slept. But to that point, I've only slept for like 4 hours. What am I looking for? Costa, care to explain why your blood-stained knife was on our crime scene? Zerialaria. The crime scene is a train station. Anybody might drop an old knife there. You police always think the worst. It had nothing to do with Padre Donovan's death. Nothing. Mamma mia. I'm a good Catholic. I kill no priests. Perhaps not, but you once told Senior Trooper Ace you hated the Irish, which I take rather personally, if you care to know. Porca vaca. I just know that the Padre wasn't nearly as clean as he wanted to look. There's a talk of his past, of him killing someone. Yeah, we're aware of that, actually. Are you really? Maledizione. You don't know how vicious people say Padre Donovan was. When angry, he crushed skulls with his bare hands. Think a person like that can ever change Senior Trooper Ace? No. If he died, it's because his sins came home to roost. Alright, we got 12 hours. I will see you guys then. This has been Pitching ACD. Au revoir. Are you so excited to be recording with Daddy? Yes. Yes. Ace, you must be here about the text in the Irish Gaelic. So fascinating. I have it around here somewhere. I need a number of dictionaries, and my working space became somewhat disordered. No need to fret, Evie. Just tell us the handwritten text on that what the handwritten text on that flyer said. Well, there it is. Well, it translates approximately to "You darned me instead of helping," and an "Ua Niel never forgets." Except it's very curious, academically, of course, because Ua Niel is the Gaelic version of the Angelicide O'Neill, and O'Neill must be Seamus, and from his talk of never forgiving Father Donovan, he seems like a man with a grudge. Seamus decidedly owes us answers. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Kisses. Daddy got you kisses. Hey, Mr. O'Neill, you lied to us. You spoke of being friendly with Father Donovan when we have evidence of your anger against him. Well, I ought not to speak ill of the dead and all that. You better tell us the truth now. Well, the true Senior Trooper Ace is this. Father Donovan promised me work, but instead he near as sold me into slavery. I was to be a stable hand at a rich man's house, but the man had me beaten black when I asked for my pay, and I had to sleep in the muck. And I may not be a gentleman, but I ain't no gutter snipe. I keep clean and use those fancy smelly waters to keep agreeable, like between baths. I even went to the barber and got some of that hair ointment stuff. I want to be more than I was back in Ireland, not less. I won't be no slave. Well, your anger is understandable, Mr. O'Neill, but you're certainly that Father Donovan arranged an abusive employer for you deliberately? Well, after I ran, he sent another immigrant to the same house. Makes my blood boil. If he weren't dead, I'd show him how sharp I shoot. Oh, brother. Father Donovan seems to have his sins atoned for, but I hope that you did not pronounce his final judgment, Mr. O'Neill. Get the papers. Yes. Ace, the deeper into this investigation, the more of our victims' misdeeds we discover. We already knew that Father Donovan had killed someone in his past, and now we learn they sent Seamus O'Neill to an abusive employer. This is already the second time we hear such a thing in relation to Father Donovan. Did Father Donovan run a scheme to profit from the immigrants' vulnerability? Would such a respectable figure stoop so low? What did you get? Oh my... That's careful, sillies. And talking of respected figures, we learned that Commissioner Baldwin was the one to take the murder weapon out of the evidence lockup. He has no satisfactory explanation for why he needed the gun. And you have proven yourselves to be extremely unwise. You didn't need it. You didn't need any warnings. And now, Ace, you're facing arrest for insubordination. Not surprising. Of course, the guy wants to arrest us. But Tiny wants me to head out, so I'll see you guys in Chapter 3. This has been Pitching Ace 88.